Good morning. Today I'm going to show you how to do a square foot gardening setup. So it's really simple. I've probably got 12 square feet here, but I'm going to use it as though it were 9. And what I could do, but I haven't got any string, is put some nails on the edges and wrap some string around them to divide it into 9. But because I haven't got string, I'm going to use canes. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to divide it into equal sections like this. And they're slightly bigger than a square foot, but I won't complain if you don't. So I'm just putting pretty much square foot things in there. I think because of those strawberries there, it's a little bit wider. So let's pull this over. Got to make sure the girls don't jump on here and start scratching, because they love things like this with wormies and little creatures underneath. So basically, there's your 9 square feet-ish. You know what I'm talking about. It's like noughts and crosses. And excuse me a moment. Come on, madam. Come on, Mads. Wake up. No. Come on. Out. That's a kick up the bottom, that was. Come on, Mads. Go on. Right. So because we've got 9 square feet here, more or less. They're bigger, about 14 inches. But never mind. What I'm going to do, not today because I haven't got the plants ready yet, it's only the, is it the 10th of March today or the 9th? I think it's the 9th. So what I would do here is I would plant a different crop in each of those squares. If this was the only crop area I had to grow, I would grow stuff that would turn around quickly and I would replace it, because otherwise, if you put stuff that grows in there very slowly, like leeks or, let me have a think, leeks or cabbages or celeriac or swede, which grow very slowly, you'll be waiting a long time for one of those squares to produce something, and it won't be worth it at the end of the day either. So what you need to do is just put crops in there that turn around quickly. If you've got another one of these, then you can mix and match it. You can put some long-term crops in there, but you're not going to get much out of a square foot. You might get 4 celeriacs out of a square foot, which is great if that's all you want, but it's going to take 6 months to grow. So that's my point with this. So you would put in here lettuces, radishes, spring onions, beetroot, turnips, anything leafy and quick growing, like pak choi or the other one, what is it called now? Tatsoi, the mizunas, the oriental greens. You'd put chard, spinach, things that are nice and leafy, grow pretty quickly, and once they're spent after a few months, I mean spinach and chard will go on for a long time, but they're beautiful to look at as well, and they just keep coming back and coming back. So if you've only got this amount of space, I would seriously grow stuff that turns around quickly. If you've got more space than this, then you can go for your longer crops. And if you've got space, one of these that you can devote entirely to brassicas, then you can cover it with a net and the butterflies, the white cabbage whites won't get on it. So what you would do is you'd plant your 6 lettuces, say for example in this square, 6 lettuces, and then as soon as they're done, you pull them out. It might take 2 months. You'll be picking leaves all the while, and then eventually they'll heart up and you can take them. As soon as they're done, you should have just a handful of seedlings ready to go back in, so maybe beetroot or spinach or something else. And what you'll find, this is the most intensive and productive way of growing food in a very tiny space. So it's really, really useful to grow food, to have this set up. It can produce food literally all year round. All you need to do in the middle of winter would be to cover it with plastic, and you could continue to harvest lettuce and spinach and chard all winter. So you just have to get your plantings in at the right time. So, last planting date for winter crops would probably be end of September, early October. And then you would plant up winter crops. So lettuces love the winter, etc., etc. You'd get one tomato in one of these squares. You'd have to stake it so it doesn't fall over. You'd get a squash in one of these squares. They grow quite quickly. It looks pretty as well. It gives you a little bit of variety. But they're not winter crops. They will be over with by the end of September, early October. But a good chance then to plant in their space some lettuce or winter greens of some description or another. So I hope that introduces you a little bit to square foot gardening. You see, it's very simple. I would put strings up if I was doing it myself right now, because then they don't move, they don't get blown away, and it just gives you a guide as to where to plant. And what I'll do on this Friday's course is I'll talk about how dense to put things in these squares. So you would put perhaps 6 lettuces in one, 8 beetroots in another, or if you've got, multi-sow plug beetroots, you'd put maybe 6 in instead of 8, because you're going to get a lot of produce out of that. The same with turnips, 6 instead of 8 if they're multi-sow into plugs, and so on and so forth. So I hope that helps, and I will show you more on Friday. Bye for now.